and really take the time, because this is going to help you curate way better content that's going to be emotionally driven, and it's going to get your audience paying attention to you versus your competition who's putting out mediocre content that is just not helping anyone. Kaminski here from uniquedesigns.net, and in today's Ask Me Anything Monday video, I want to share with you some strategy on how to generate better content for your brand so that it connects and resonates with your ideal audience and helps you generate a more qualified lead. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people making in their social media advertising, marketing, their online presence is they do not take the time to really understand who their ideal customer is and what their pains and challenges are. When you can pinpoint these issues, you will be able to really resonate with them through the content that you create, because the content that you create is going to be spot on. They're going to be saying to themselves when they read your content, wow, how did they know that this issue was going on in my head? All right. So we have to do some detective work in order to really understand what it is that our clients are challenged with and what they're willing to spend money on to get that problem solved. So I'm going to share a screen real quick and share some resources with you that is really going to help you understand how I do some of the detective work in my business to really create the great content that Unique Designs and the Brand Doctor brand creates for you guys. So right here, you're looking at a website called Buzzsumo. And this is a great intelligence tool. I'm going to type in here personal branding in this keyword here. And let's see what comes up. So what Buzzsumo does is it generates and curates all the top blog posts and articles that are on the internet right now revolving around personal branding. And it's going to showcase the most shared content. So on Facebook engagement, Twitter shares, right? So here's one, the ultimate guide to personal branding in the gaming space. Maybe not something that I would be interested in looking at further, but how women can develop and promote their personal brand. Here's a good one. So 4K shares on Facebook, number of links, 21. So this is a solid engagement. So we're going to click on this, right? And we're going to click out of this. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan this blog post. I'm going to read it through, and I'm going to see what topics, what areas does this author highlight. I'm going to start taking some notes. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to Buzzsumo, and I'm going to do this again. 12 ways to elevate your personal brand in 2018. I'm going to take a look at that one. This is an entrepreneur.com article, so I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at some of the highlights here. Okay. Some good stuff here. Amplify your blog posts about content. Some really good stuff here. Create a standalone personal website. Post regular long-form content on LinkedIn. We do that with our articles. Run a $3 a day personal branding campaign on Facebook. Yeah, these are some really cool stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down some of that stuff, right? And I'm going to start to curate a lot of different ideas around personal branding. Personal branding, how to create and market yourself, right? Now, this is awesome too, because this is going to give you some ideas for titles for blogs and videos and so on and so forth. So a lot of good stuff here. You're going to understand how people are consuming this concept behind personal branding. And I'm also going to look at what they're going to be searching for. So for example, if I just go to Google, right, and type in personal branding, right? Look what populates: personal branding examples, personal branding statement, the definition of personal branding photography, personal branding workshop. So let's go to, and I'm just going to type in strategy, right? So here's one: strategy template, content strategy, right? So here's one that I can play with, right? Personal branding content strategy, right? So I'm going to look at some of the page 1 Google results. How to create a content marketing strategy for your personal brand. This is the content strategy you need to create for your personal brand. I'm going to start, again, writing down some ideas on what people are searching for, right? Because obviously these are ranked really, really high for a reason. So this is all great intel for me to begin my content strategy. All right. So here's another one that I want you to take a peek at. So this one is Quora. All right. So if I typed in here, personal branding, right? I'm going to click this. And what Quora is, it's sort of like a Reddit. It is a place where people post questions around certain topics, right? So if I type in personal branding, I can look at some of the questions that people are asking around the personal branding theme, right? So, should a startup founder concentrate their efforts on building a personal brand or hustling their startup through social media presence? It's a great question, okay? Should products brand take a political stand, or is it too risky of a marketing technique? What are some personal branding strategies, right? So then you click on this, right? And you can start to read different answers. This is going to give you so much juice to play with. I can't even explain it. Like, I'm just showing you some of the stuff here, right? Like, if you just take some time to go through this and start jotting down some notes in a Google Doc, or if you like to write it down like freehand, whatever, this is going to give you so much juice to play with, okay? So when you're creating content, there's never, ever a shortage of knowing what to produce. It's just a matter of dialing it in. And this is how you dial it in, guys, okay? And the last but not least, this one's sort of, it's not so scalable, but it is a great way to do a lot of biz development. I still do this 1 hour a day. I have it booked in my calendar every day to come into Facebook, go to my groups, right? I'll pick a group. So there's a whole bunch that I'm in, right? Go down here. So I'll go down to Art of High Ticket Selling. This is a group that I frequent quite often, and I'll look at some of the recent posts and I'll start to read some of the comments, okay? And I'll start to see where people's attention is. All right, it's probably a long former, so that's why it's taking me to another page, but let me go back here. All right. I've been in this group for almost 3 years now, and I love the camaraderie. Here we're growing. Okay, cool. All right, so they're hiring. So that's like a pitch to hire people, but okay. Do you call interested prospects who apply but haven't scheduled? So here's a good one. It's got 10 comments, right? So I'm going to read these comments. I'm going to see where people's heads are at when it comes to this, right? And I'm going to add in my 2 cents. If there's any way that I can help this person, get over this challenge or answer this question, I'm going to help them. And you'll be surprised what that creates, right? It starts to create private messages, right? People will now start to private message me and say, hey, I loved what you wrote in that group. Like, tell me more about what you do. And now we have a conversation starter, right? I've gotten so much business from just participating in Facebook groups and just providing value up front, not asking for anything in return, not trying to sell them anything. I'm just trying to help them get through whatever challenge or pain point they're experiencing. There was one client that I had who couldn't figure out this one little thing in ClickFunnels. It was how to make a call to action button appear after like 3 minutes into a video, right? And so I was like, hey, can you want to jump on a Zoom call real quick? I have this hour blocked out for things like this. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So we jumped on a Zoom call and I was able to walk him through this quick little tutorial, literally in like 2 minutes, and help him solve his problem. Do you know how far that goes? With building relationships with people, it's staggering why people aren't doing this kind of stuff inside of their business. Sometimes people get to a certain point in their career, oh, I'm too good for that, or I don't have time for that these days, blah, blah, blah. I call bullshit on all of that, because if you're not continuously developing relationships with people online, your brand is dying, all right? So last but not least, guys, I want you to take some of this strategy and I want you to apply it. This is how you're going to win. This is how you're going to make connection. This is how you're going to build your brand's credibility, your reputation, and you're going to be known as the go-to guy. Now, that person will never forget that. And the law of reciprocity is very powerful. When you put in the work and you just go out there and help people, right? That comes back around in spades. I cannot explain this to you, but it works magic for your business. So don't be afraid to go out there and just help these people without asking anything in return. I'm telling you right now, it's going to come back to you. You just don't know when. All right. So just a quick little recap: Facebook group biz deving, using Quora, using Buzzsumo, using the Google search form, and looking at what people are searching for, right? Using I didn't mention this one, but the Google Keyword Planner is another one, right? You want to really use the resources that are out there that are all free, right? And so that is a smart marketer. That's a smarketer right there, guys. It's knowing what your resources are, allocating them appropriately, and then executing. Nothing will happen without execution. And we all know this. You hear me preach about this day in and day out. So I want you to take these tips and I want you to run with them. I want you to start to plan them in your work week and really take the time, because this is going to help you curate way better content that's going to be emotionally driven, and it's going to get your audience paying attention to you versus your competition who's putting out mediocre content that is just not helping anyone. So hope you got some value out of this video, guys. Drop some comments below. Let me know if you have a question that you want for me to feature on a future Ask Me Anything Monday video. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, I highly encourage you to do it, because I will be here consistently bringing you as much brand strategy, digital marketing strategy, design strategy I possibly can to help you grow a profitable and reputable brand. So have an amazing day, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Later.